Have you ever been in one of those situations that you really wanted to get out of, but you saw no way to get out of it, and it just seemed like it was getting worse and worse from your perspective? Pilate really found himself in that situation when the Jews brought Jesus to him to sentence him to death. It was a situation Pilate wanted to have nothing to do with. In fact, the Bible tells us that when he was reacting to all of this situation, he finally told the Jews, you just take him yourself and you crucify him. And the Jews responded to him and they said, we have a law, and according to our law, he ought to die. And then they said, because he made himself the Son of God. You would have thought that probably would have meant very little to Pilate, being a pagan as he was, but the text tells us in John chapter 19, verse 8, that when he heard them say that, he became very afraid. For some reason, this really began to shake Pilate and began to shake his whole understanding and evaluation of the situation. And so he goes back into the judgment hall and he says to Jesus, where are you from? He really wants to know a little more about this. He's very intrigued, but he's also very disturbed about the whole situation. But the Bible tells us that Jesus gave him no answer. He did not speak to him, at least at this moment. Pilate continued in verse 10 of John 19, and he said, are you not going to answer me? Are you not going to speak to me? Do you not know that I have the power? Some translations say authority. Do you not know that I have the power or the authority to crucify you, to release you, or to crucify you? And then Jesus gives him this response in John 19, beginning at verse 11. You could have no power against me at all unless it was given to you from above. Therefore, the one who has delivered me to you has the greater sin. Jesus is telling Pilate that he's simply in place where he is by virtue of God's power. And really, that's what Pharaoh was told. That's what every prime minister and president and governor and leader in the history of the world has been told. You see it very vividly demonstrated in the life of Nebuchadnezzar. God puts people in places of power for his own reasons. And in this particular case, Pilate was being used in this whole plan of salvation. Not, of course, that it came through him, but he was part of the whole picture. But notice that Jesus responded to him and says, you have no power against me. The one who delivered me to you has the greater sin. Judas is there, of course. The chief priests, the Pharisees, they're there. But someone else is there. I'm there. And you're there. It was our sins that delivered Jesus to the cross.